So this is my 1 pound robot, Mondo Money. Mondo Money is a 2-wheel drive wedge robot with forks in the front and then in the back. It runs a PLA chassis for wedge robots and a TPU chassis for other robots with weapons. So it has 3-inch foam wheels with 1 or 2 coats of liquid latex on them, and it's running a dual repeat robotics brushed ESC with 2 MK2 motors. This robot was originally named Kermit and competed at the RSL event around 3 months ago. It placed 8th out of 32 robots, but this new design, which was Mondo Money, just had forks. That was the main difference. So in this first fight, I went up against Swiss Army Bot. Swiss Army Bot is a bet bots kit. So that means that it's 4-wheel drive, but it's using Lego tires, so it gets a lot of grip. And its forks had a lot more reach than me, so that means that in most of these front-on-front engagements, he won the fork and the ground game. So that means that it was really hard for me to get under him and win this fight. Unfortunately, in the rush to get to this event, I did not have my main remote, so I had to switch to my Turnigy Evolution remote. So that means all my rates were mixed up. So in this fight, I was trying to mess with my rates when I was getting pinned or pinning him. So it was pretty hard to really have a lot of control in this fight. And then also the lipo that I was given graciously by the event organizer Joseph. He gave the one battery that he had was a 3S lipo, 300 milliamp GNB battery. I normally run this robot on 4S, so it was a lot less power. And then after this fight, I was really struggling to have any pushing power, and then I realized that this battery, one of the cells was puffed up, so I was really only running on 2S. So right here, you can kind of see I'm just losing battery, and I can't really push him at all, and then also I'm really just running on 2S, so I can't really push him at all and, not drive very well. So I did unfortunately lose this fight against him, but I do have redemption in this match. So I went up against Ghost Wedge, I believe it was named. This was also another rental robot. It was a Bet Spots kit. So that means that this was pretty much the exact same robot, but now graciously, the event organizer Joseph, he gave me a new battery that was fully 3S. So here I was a lot faster and a lot more nimble. But here you see I can get stuck in the wall. But the driver was really kind and tried to push me and get me out of that. So here I got a bit more practice driving and switching my rates around with this new remote. So I was driving as I originally would like, which is good, but I'm really just trying to stay aggressive and keeping a lot of control in this fight, because if I do lose this fight, this is a modified Swiss event, so that means that there's 3 fights, and then the top 4 robots go into a single elimination bracket. And because I lost my first fight, I knew that if I lost this one, then I would have no chance of making it into the final 4 bracket. So here I just got a pin again, and I was just trying to stay as controlled and just keeping as much control and aggression as I can. But whenever I try to go full speed and get under them, I just keep getting stuck in the wall. So that is unfortunate, but that's also because of my driving and also of these long steel forks that I have on here. So in this next fight that I have, I go up against a vertical spinner. So I want to switch over my frame to a TPU frame. So that means I just switched over all my electronics into this new frame with the forks as well. And then also I put on 1mm titanium wheel guards on here. So this is the fight now that I have. So this fight, I was talking with the driver a little bit, and he said he was having a lot of drive problems. So unfortunately, he couldn't drive super well. So I got under him here, and he wasn't really moving. So, and then here you can't see exactly, but his belt comes off, so he taps out. So this was the next robot that I was going up against. So the 3 fights leading into the single elimination bracket, I won 2 of them. So I was placed 3rd out of the 11 robots now. So that means I qualified for the single elimination bracket. So now I was placed 3rd, and Vircher, this really scary and really big, vertical spinner I had to go up against because he was placed 4th. So my plan in this fight was just try to stay kind of cautious and just try to get under him because I didn't think that he could really get me if I just got under him, but that didn't exactly work out super well in this fight, you can see. The fight does start around 5 seconds late because the video was a bit delayed here. Here he gets a little neck on me, and he hits my fork really hard. So I was upside down, and I drove forward, and my forks got stuck under me. So I couldn't move here. I was getting counted out. I was asking for him to hit me or just try to do something and get me unstuck from this. So there was a count out going on, and then I did unfortunately get counted out in this fight, but then he does hit me here again. So I was a little bit confused on who won this fight, but it was really up to the other driver, and he kind of awarded me this fight. So that means now I have to go up against Swiss Army Bot again. So this is the only robot that I've lost against. I've lost against him once in my first fight of the day. But now I have, I put new wheels on so I get a lot more grip, and I'm running fully on 3S. So here, a lot of the times when I was just driving kind of full speed at him, I would get stuck in the floor like there. I get stuck in the floor, and so I couldn't really push him super well because I was scared that if I was like across and just full on tried to box rush him and just pin him, I would get stuck in the floor. So I really just had to kind of stay put in the middle or close to the middle and just keep my forks towards him. But the only problem with that was I didn't have as much pushing power as him, so I really had to try to just wait for him to make a mistake and get under him here. So originally in this fight, I just put a new battery in here, but you can't exactly see here, but some smoke comes out of Mondo Money. And I never realized that, but that was the dual ESC from Repeat Robotics. So I was just running it on 3S, so I was a bit confused why it didn't catch on fire, but one of the boards did get burned up. So you can see the picture after this fight, but I was controlling this fight in general, so I was hoping that I could win this fight, but also I was down a wheel. So he gets a good pin on me here. I can't really do too much, and the other wheel is cutting out, which is weird. So one of the boards just killed one of my wheels, and the other one was just cutting out a lot. So I couldn't drive super well. And you can see it's not a super great picture, but one of the wires going to the dual seat, it unsoldered itself. And then also on the other side of the board, it was pretty burned up. So that means I was out of this competition because I lost this fight in the single elimination tournament. So I did end up placing 3rd at this event, which is really cool. and that was really fun to come to this event. And I'm really thankful that Joseph held this event. And in the description, I'll put a link to his website where he has events and his kit that I could not beat. So that was the event. I'm really grateful that Joseph put this on, even though there weren't a lot of people. It was a lot of fun to get more testing on this robot, and I'm fully redesigning Mondo Money, and it will be competing at Michigan Mashup, and it will also be competing at some of Joseph's upcoming events. So, if you liked the video, then that's great, and I will hopefully be making more videos of the upcoming events that I go to.